One of my favourite radios. And you may ask why.
Yeah, okay, Kerry, yeah.
I'm going to show you. Not sure who that is, so I better just not have people on there without their permission. I just don't recognise the voices. Normally, when I'm going through, if I recognise people's voices, as I know I'm okay to record them, but not sure who that was. But anyway, that's all right. Let's go back. That was the same one, I think. Don't recognise the voice. Just trying to think who it is.
VK2 Golf Quebec Radio, VK2CR.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Of course that rings a bell, but sorry. I don't like putting people on there unless we sort of have a bit of an idea. Anyway, let's just talk about what this is. As you know, I have owned quite a number of IC775 DSPs, and I had got myself out of 775 DSPs. I decided that I was being a glutton for punishment in the fact of having too many radios and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, if you've got a 7850, what do you want this for? And blah, blah, blah. And, yeah. But I did just sell my Icom IC780 to a very good mate down in Melbourne. And the money was burning a hole in my pocket. And I thought, a mate of mine, Graham, had this IC775 DSP. And I thought, you know what? I don't have to ship it. He's just over at Yak and Dander. And then Graham did the worst thing. He said, mate, what if I pop over and he had a little meter. Actually, let me show you what that meter I bought off him. Hang on, that was actually quite good. He had a meter, and I just realised, Graham, I must have carried this in. I didn't even realise this radio came with a leather cover. If you're watching this video, Graham, I had no idea. Oh my goodness, what it also came with, very, very, very hard to get from Icom Australia. Get this, that's a brand new LCD for the 775 DSP. Now, as you can see, nothing wrong with this DSP. With this here. Graham thought it was maybe not quite bright enough. We'll have a look at that. We'll see. Not sure about that. But that's gold. Don't even know if you can easily get one of those anymore. But there you go. On to meters. Sorry, I'm just in the shed out the American barn and not quite as organised as I should be here right now. These little things, we just want it for doing a little bit of test bench work, etc., for the heck of it. I liked them back in the day. I really did. As you guys know, I've got a lot of SW200 Kenwoods. This was sort of Icom's approach to the SW200, and this was obviously the 200 watt model, so this was meant for doing a test on, say, this here, which we might even do in a second, is run that in there, and that was a curious thing they did on these too. Have a look at that. Someone's changed them to BNC, but I don't remember. I really don't. Whether they came with 239 or BNC, but anyway, a couple of adapters on there and she'll be right. But box, books and everything, it's in gorgeous condition. It really is. And look, it's just for our workshop, but pretty impressed with these little things. So obviously we just had a little pigtail lead here that went from SO239 to BNC, used a little BNC to SO239, then PL259 to adapt that up. And ideally, when I sit down here and I choose a frequency where nobody's on, let's go 7095 and check nobody's on there. We got a lot of noise in the shed at the moment, seriously. That might be good actually to test the filters on these in a minute. Let's see, where are we on power? 100 watts. Reflected, and 200 watts there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, hello. Well, have a look at that meter. We're getting 2 tests in one here. Graham wanted me to test it while he was here, and I said, Graham, it'll work. I mean, it's come from you. I said, I don't need to test it. Oh, geez. They are a beautiful meter, though. They really are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, 3 Charlie Mike is testing on 7095. Hello. Now, ideally, these are 200 watt radios. Keep in mind, I'm on a antenna that's probably not the best tune at the moment. So let's just give that a tune, because I think it'll need it, to be honest. Let's have a look. Oh, I haven't set up the fastest way to check tune here right now is now 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and as you can see, tune 1 to 1. And look at that. Look at the power difference. 1, 2, with getting the tune right. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, so that's giving it its 200 watts nicely then. And very important, obviously, that you get or have some sort of appreciation of the fallback circuits in these. They're there to protect those 200 watt stages, and so keep an eye on your SWR. The tuners on the 775s are very good, but okay, where you got to be careful with 775s, and I'm going to be very blunt here. You can do a tuner in very easily, trying to get it to go outside of its parameters. They are synonymous with having issues if you go too crazy. By too crazy, I mean you sit there for minutes on end trying to tune something that's never going to tune. If it doesn't tune first time, maybe give it a rest, give it one more time. And sorry, the other thing too, sort of obviously keep your power down low when you're tuning. And let's have a look. Sorry, should just come on there. Oh, I got to remember now. Because we're tuned now, it's not going to do it. No, of course. All right, sorry, I won't try and do it. Well, yeah, but as you can see at the moment, I am, if I go down to AM, it should bring my power down quite considerably. No, the other way to turn the power down is the actual power controller course. That's better. So let's have about 10 watts of power there, and we're checking SWR. Let's see what the SWR was without the tuner. Look at that, it's terrible. Terrible, terrible, terrible. So the tuner, as you can see, when it's asked to do something and it does it well, so it's taken a 3-to-1 SWR on 7095 and it's taken it down beautifully, which means that now we've got something that, we can really trust the readings on when we turn the power back up to get your 200 watts PEP. Now, keep in mind, this is PEP. Average will not be so responsive, so let's take it back. And this is why these meters are so cheap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, hello, hello. So you can still peak your 200 watts, like you should be able to. PEP just means you don't have to work so hard. Hello, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2. Probably a little bit generous there, but not too bad. So, 775. Why do I love the 775 so much? And this is the first time I have had one, and I'm going to show you the key to a 775, and I believe it's the key. And and I'm going to be honest, this is the first time that I've had this particular situation. Let me show you. Needs a couple of screws out, but I'll show you. Now, I'm going to be very honest here. This is the absolute first time. Even my one that I bought from Ross, I was still short of some CW filters because I just don't really do as much CW. And I had certainly all the sideband filters. But have a look at this. This has got the SSB narrow at 455, CW narrow. Now, these two were standard here. Have a look at what else we've got here. The 1.9 narrow, the 6 kilohertz AM filter, which I can't live without generally. That's such a good filter. And then the CW filters there, one more SSB filter, which is a 2.4. The 2.4 would have been their standard, sorry. So that's not an extra filter. I think that was, yeah, you can tell. And the reason you can tell, the ones that are plug-ins, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So there's 5 plug-in extra filters there. Yeah, that's soldered. From memory, that made them standard. That was soldered. Yes. So 5 filters. I think the most I've had is 3 filters. I had 2 sidebands and an AM in my previous one. This is, as I said, first one ever, fully loaded. And look, the CW, the experience on CW, I know you have to obviously be a little bit more into CW than I am, but if it's anything like it is on sideband, it makes such a difference, Okay, a bit of slow scan, and probably you can show a bit of filtering on the slow scan. Yeah, you can widen that up. You can do so much. Widen that up heaps. On the 9 meg, narrowing it up. See how it gets rid of that noise? On the 455 now, CW, if we can do the same thing. We can widen up the CW, use the 9 meg, combination of the 9 meg and the 455, and obviously it'll switch out the 2 narrows if you're trying to put the wide into it. The filtering on these things is just incredible. And look, as I said, you know, I've experienced one of these with all the sideband filtering, and I've got to be honest, sideband filtering on this is every bit as good as my 7850. This radio is a lot older than my 7850. Lot to be said for the way they do things on the 775 DSP. Probably won't get a call sign on this. Anyway, this is one hell of a radio. A lot more than I counted on, actually. This will probably go and sit next to one of my... This will actually make it into my personal Radio Shack, I think. I actually like the look of the... This is supposed to be for our workshop, but I like the look of that WR200 sitting on top of the 775. And I'll just go up the frequency a bit, especially with the PP and Hello 1-2. And, you know, well, you always know you're getting your 200 watts out, don't you? Yeah, once again, the ATUs on these were not bulletproof, so do be careful what you're trying to tune. My previous 775, I actually never really used the tuner much, to be very honest, the one that I bought from Ross so many years ago. And the reason for that was that I've always been going through fairly high quality tuners like the Palstar HF Auto now. You know, it's funny, I've got 2 or 3, probably 3 now, I think, 3 HF Autos sitting around this property. And I almost keep one of those 3 as a backup just in case. I depend on them. I love them. And I'll tell you why. It's not because every antenna on this property is not resonant. Sometimes I've got to do things on various bands and things for military and for commercial applications, and I need an antenna to work. So my Palstar, which just seems to fix my problem every time, is a great go-to tool. So we may sell. We've got one that I would call spare at some stage, but I'm not in a hurry. Actually, I've just sold one of my Palstars to a mate of mine up in Darwin, and oh God, the emails I got, man. Look, you know what? People always talk about getting the odd bad email, you know, and for whatever reason, your client wasn't happy for some, you know, insane reason. Well, Dean's a bit the opposite. So far, I've sold Dean an Icom 1000 and a matching Palstar HF Auto, 80 Auto, I think, tuner, that one. And I've got to be honest, the email he sent me, you know, you never have to be scared opening an email from Dean. It is just so lovely. He really goes to town on, you know, being very thankful and for, you know, just the service, etc. And I think, mate, you deserve a freebie down the track or something. I don't know what, but you're just one of those guys who's so appreciative, and we love having you as a customer and love, you know, being involved with people like that. I suppose that raises the question, you know, how many bad emails do we get? Look, now and again, it can happen, and I've got one at the moment that I think he's so wrong I haven't even replied to be honest. I think he's so wrong it's not funny, but, you know, I will reply to it, by the way. But I'm just having trouble sort of finding the words sometimes when people are being so ridiculous. But you get that, you know, you will get that. But look, 9 times out of 10, you know, people are brilliant. Anyway, what more can I say? We're really just sitting here with a glorified video about my obsession with 775s at the moment, aren't we? I've just opened that up a bit. I had the narrow on sideband then, and I've just opened that up a bit to... There's not a lot on 40 at the moment. Unfortunately, I don't have a lot of antenna coverage. I'll go to 28 just in case there's anything here, because this antenna should tune quite okay on 28 megs. You never know. Let me come down a bit. I'll just do a tune. Actually, that tuned all right. 1, 2, 1, 2. Yeah, you can tell by the SWR meter here and here too. Let's have a look. So we're using 200 watts of power here on 28490, upper sideband. The call channel. What a controversial statement that is, eh? The call channel. I don't know, guys. Look, I go to 28490. I call someone in fear of being shouted down by somebody. I QSY off. Do I QSY off because it's the call channel? When I speak to Americans, they have no idea what I'm talking about. So I don't know if that's an Australian thing or not. Maybe you can put in the comments file where that's originated from. I do try to get off 28490 because to some degree it is. Obviously, I've gone to it now, so maybe it is a good channel to keep clear. VK3 Charlie Mike calling CQ, just operating on an IC775DSP and a little antenna, very little antenna. VK3 Charlie Mike just testing on 28490. Anybody hearing us at all? Never know. Band could be dead. VK6 Alpha Delta Mike. This is so surprising because the antenna I'm on is about an 8-foot whip sitting on the side of the shed, and we've had to tune it. In the noise a little bit at the moment, but it may come up. VK6 Alpha Delta Mike, VK3 Charlie Mike, Brenton in Tangambalanga, northeast Victoria. Let's put some preamp on here. Let's put a noise blanker on. Look at that. Look at that. Yeah, VK780M, and I've just put in a bit of noise reduction and put in a bit of preamp, and I can now hear you beautifully. The power of the 775 DSP. Anyway, yeah, no, that's really good. Thank you very much for the test copy on this, because I love these old 775 DSPs, but you're my first contact on it. Go ahead. Look at that, we can hear him. Just with a bit of filtering. Oh, dropped a bit there. A little bit of QSB, but typical 10 meters. Hang on, let me move this meter. Yeah, that's better. Okay, so that's power out there. Yeah, look, thank you so much. Name was Brenton, Boston Radio Echo, November Tango, Oscar November. 73s, and sorry I'm losing you at the moment, but it really was a good contact because it started from nothing. We used a bit of noise reduction. We got you in there, and obviously band conditions playing a role. Thank you very much. Go ahead. Look at the noise reduction. It's crazy. Yeah, 73 is all the best. That is crazy. Let me turn that down. I mean, we could not get him out of the noise at one stage. And in the end, it was actually their noise reduction system matched with a little bit of filtering that pulled him out nicely. And look, I did add some preamp just to sort of... And look, I think Icom, I got to be honest, I think preamp level 1 is pretty much... what you should be giving a signal report off, but you know that's probably very controversial. Well, I tell you what, guys, I was going to do a whole lot of, let's put it through this here and show you all the receive and blah 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 blah. I don't think we're going to do that today, and the reason is because I like to keep these videos under 20 minutes, number one, but number two is that you're probably learning more about this radio. Oh, look at the noise there though. Geez, this shed's got noise on certain bands. I've got to be honest, I should have done this video down in the house because I've got much better antennas. I've got much better ability to play with so much. But you know what? In some respects, this was better because we got to display the noise and exactly what's going on with, how much noise you can have to deal with. This is today I'm showing out the shed's like being on a city block somewhere. All right, well, I'm not going to carry this on too much longer because you've got a good look at a 775. Let me just focus on the fact when you've got all those filters in, even if you're not a CW fanatic, I'd suggest put the CW filters in. It's a bit of fun. But look, beautiful radios, 775. If you get a chance to get one, they're definitely beautiful. 73s from VK3 Charlie Mike, Tangambalanga, northeast Victoria. And I'm sure we'll have something up soon on the next video, something new and interesting, and a lot of stuff coming in, so I'm sure there will be. Cheers, guys. All the best.